It's not that big a challenge.
No, so here we go.
Yeah,
Dragon is
not
angrily
at
waiting
all.
outside. Dragon is
Oh
angrily
god,
waiting outside the
I'm gonna be
town,
rusty.
occasionally
on this.
screaming
It's
out
been
at
a few
them
days.
to not forget that he needs this man, or this Tiger Lord person, in his grasp before sundown. Or like, oh, fudge. So here we go. I remembered that in my inventory was a set of Ifriti chain.
Okay.
I had just recently acquired it, and Ifriti chain gives you a very, very relevant ability for a dragon. Adult Red Dragon. Immunity to fire damage.
Seems pretty useful.
I spend the time to attune to it. I'm wearing Ifriti chain. Then, I have the ability as a Firbolg to disguise self. And I can change my stature to look like a smaller creature. Which is... It's only very slightly smaller than a Firbolg that a Were-Tiger is, but I can do that. We sneak our way into the city, we find the guy...
Oh, that's not
and
good.
We sneak into the city, we find the guy, and I say, hey, give me your outer robe, I'm gonna try and get this dragon off our backs.
Oh, it's supposed to snap off?
That's
And
adorable that you use the word "our."
so
You're already free and clear. Someone wants to be dumb, hang him out.
well, so here we go. I take his robe, and I sneak back outside the city. And one of the other abilities that I have is called the Rune of the Gate. And what it allows me to do is, as long as both of the, as long as two of these are on the same plane of existence, I can open them and create a doorway that allows up to 5 medium creatures or 2 large to pass through instantaneously.
Oh, freaking powers.
So, what I do is I set up way outside of town, I set up a gate that's going to pop me out like way beyond eyesight. And then I huff and puff and sneak up to the dragon outside the city, and then I disguise myself as the Were-Tiger guy, and I walk out and say, "You have not bested me, silly dragon."
Wait, hang on. How did you disguise yourself?
I have it. That's a Firbolg ability. You can disguise self and change the size of your build to be small to appear smaller. And I also was wearing his outer robe.
I've encountered a similar situation like this, and I kind of hate to rain on the parade, but adult red dragons have true sight.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, apparently that was something that you didn't care to use.
Or wait,
So-
no. Is it
No.
adult or is it ancient?
Ancient.
We've gone through this before. Yeah.
Interesting that you've had to make this distinction before.
When you're in a corner and clenching really tight, because mirror image is the only thing that might keep you standing, whether or not the dragon is able to see through fake copies is very important.
Yes. Well, and an ancient green dragon doesn't have true sight. It has blind sight. Let me move forward to the red one.
Well, they don't have true sight. They do have blind sight, though. Blind sight, dark vision. Oh, God. That is a really high passive perception, though.
Yeah. So I looked like him, I smelled like him, and I talked like him, because I was able to change the timbre of my voice with that as well. So I said, hey, if you light me up and I survive, then that means I win. And then if you do kill me, then you've won, and you can go on your way. Because I knew I was wearing a Ifriti chain and his flames couldn't hurt me. So what I did is, as he obliged and tried to roast me with his fire, I put a gate beneath me on the ground, opened it, dropped through, fell out the other side and closed them, and then got my ass up and started huffing and puffing running to see what happened.
Okay.
So then is where a really weird thing happened that kind of made the whole problem go away, sort of, and then not. Another random thing happened, because the DM was like, okay, like, this dragon kind of hanging out around here is gonna, like, make some, you know, people take notice, and that's exactly what happened. An entire warship of Gith came in, trying to take down that dragon.
And the society you once knew has been replaced by a
And
corrupted world undertaker.
this is becoming too much. I feel like a bunch of gifts showing up is really bizarre.
They're dragon hunters.
They're mind flare hunters.
No, there's one set of Gith that are mind flayer hunters, and the other are dragon hunters.
The world of Argent Anur has fallen. Divided.
Yeah, but
it's in the
they don't just chill on like the material plane though.
no, they shifted in with their boat.
World under Maker rule.
I don't know. Gift for me are like one of those monster types that unless they're baked into what's happening, you're probably not going to encounter them. It just feels weird to me.
Yeah, I don't remember what the impetus was, but it was a chance happening that said they were close enough to, you know, find the dragon, and they wanted to take him out. And maybe he had a reputation with that. So they come, fight the dragon, and they kill each other. It's all rolled. The dragon burns down their ship, they crash into the wreckage, but all of their dragon fighting weapons did enough that he died. As he was dying, the last moment of stupidity, he is sitting there out in the field dying, and Tiger Boy walks up and he decides he's going to put the last ounce of spit into that wound. And that dragon is so furious, he screams to the heavens and says, Tiamat, take me if you let me kill this guy.
Okay.
And then, two emissaries of Tiamat came and turned him into a necro dragon. And he said, I will not rest until you are destroyed.
Can I?
As he left.
This is Mr. Bones' wild ride of random encounters.
Yeah. Where? I haven't found this.
I feel like I'm missing something here. Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, so that was just the biggest crazy thing that this guy did before he left.
Oh, whoops.
There's also another thing he did that totally screwed up what the party was going to do, and that was kind of the final straw that broke the camel's back.
When you say he left, did he leave or was he shunned?
It was a little bit of both. I was willing to make things work by talking, but the rest of the group got a little bit upset with basically he was trying to force himself to be a Mary Sue. Like, basically, we had previous experiences with each other and built up, like, you know, camaraderie with the characters, and we did cool things together. And he was trying to do that flying solo and at Mach speed.
Gotcha.
That is the only thing of actual substance that I was able to pull out of him through talking with him is he wanted to have the cool moments, but he didn't want to put in the groundwork for them. And that's why he based his character off of a mega oversized stat sheet for a monster that's supposed to be like a boss character, and why he did all these things and never backed down on his needs.
Yep. Which, by the way, is a recurring trend if you ever visit r/RPG horror stories.
Uh-huh. So here we go. This is after he's been kind of called a bunch, and he's no longer mega OP, he's just slightly OP.
Oh no, I'm stuck inside of a pillar.
Don't do that.
Game.
Is this a JoJo's reference?
No, I'm stuck inside the map.
He clicked
Have you
into
become
geometry.
Killer
Oh
Man?
no.
Apparently.
Yeah. So his background was something to the effect of being cursed with immortality or something.
Oh yeah, it's a fucking terrible curse.
And so the actual class feature of it is that he, within a reasonable prop of civilization, he should be able to find someone who is his descendant. And that's what he did. And the GM, just kind of making up a random character, decided that this is where the world of darkness really comes in full swing. He did some, random character generation and decided that this guy had accidentally become a vampire, and he was a hermit because of it. That did not sit well in the mind of our player or his character.
Okay.
So later on, we're on our quest. There's some weird disease
But you don't have to
ravaging.
deal with this if you just murder the problem away, right?
Oh no, yeah, it's been done. Like he's no longer part of this world anymore. Like I said, this was the final thing that kind of sealed the fate of him in not being part of the group anymore. So we're investigating some weird disease that has people laughing until they die.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that one's fun.
Basically like super Joker serum. And we found it out later, but we were investigating around the surroundings to where some of the water sources were to try and find out if anything around there was doing it. And we came across this lake, and for whatever reason, one of our party members decided that one of the things he wanted to do was to roll on our iron flask and see what was inside to try and help us.
Sketchy, but okay.
So what we rolled on the iron flask was an arcana lock. All about magical deals and whatnot. So, we decided, okay, yeah, could you investigate this lake here? We're trying to figure out about this disease. If you do a good job for us, maybe we'll strike up a deal. And he's like, of course, that's easy. I could do anything like that. That's like snapping my fingers. And so he goes and does the stuff. And we're like, okay, thanks. We'll consider having a deal with you in the future. The Weretiger did some whispering to the GM and said, hey, I want to take this guy aside. And I want to tell him, hey, this guy, he's really done me dirty by accidentally becoming a vampire. You need to go kill him. Mind you, this is like his great-great-great-grandson or something. So the GM says, all right, Arcanoloth is a fiend. He don't give a flying cahoot who he has to kill to get a contract. So he goes and does it. Turns out he wasn't as skilled as he thought he was, and that Arcanoloth was killed by Mr. Vampire Dude. And unfortunately, what happens when a vampire drinks supernatural fiend blood?
He
It's
becomes
mega
a
upgrade.
super vampire.
Yeah. And apparently this Arcanoloth was so confident in his ability to defeat random hermit vampire that he spilled the beans on who sent him.
Arcanoloths and all the other loths, by the way, POTUS,
Yeah.
are fiends that live in, like, a pseudo-separate dimension from, like, the Nine Hells and the Abyss and everything.
Okay.
Basically, a whole bunch of hags got together with... It's fucking
Like-
someone. It might have been Asmodeus himself.
Our hell is cooler than your hell?
Yeah, they basically wanted to do, like, an our hell is cooler than yours and make their own fiends. Although, at some point, the ability to make more got lost because, you know, like any band that spends too long together, they decided to have a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, the only person who may have managed to make more of them is Asmodeus, and he's got other shit on his plate. And it might not be Asmodeus. I'm not really sure on who the important name is. But it's someone really powerful.
I'm pulling up the sheet right now. So...
All of the Loth-like fiend types, though,
Oh, yeah.
okay, so...
are neat in that... So you have, like, devils that will sign contracts with you in exchange for stuff.
Uh-huh.
You have demons that don't give a flying fuck and will just, like, murder fuck you. All of the Yugoloths, Arcanoloths, and, like, what that are basically, like, Hell's mercenaries.
Oh, fun.
Is, like, the Cliff Notes version.
The book, I got it on the Monster Manual here,
Like, what they did with the Arcanoloth, is pretty, like, cut and dry. You could hire this one to figure out all sorts of, like, different arcane secrets.
They live in Escheron, Gehenna, Hades, and Carcer.
Yugoloths are like the boatmen that ferry the river Styx, and if you need to go from the Nine Hells to the Abyss, the Nine Hells to some other plane of existence, they got you, fam. They know how to get there.
Okay, then.
Yeah, you have the Arcanoloth, the Mezzoloth, the Nikoloth, and the Ultraloth. All of them have different nasty ways to mess you up, or just to provide service for you.
Most of the service part involves messing other people up.
Basically, that's it. They will reward you handsomely for everything and a box of donuts. Like, they get they do not take kindly to reneging. But thankfully, I guess in this situation, Mr. Tiger didn't have to pay up because the guy failed. And so Uber Vampire decides that he's, tired of being a hermit, and he decides that one of the towns that we were visiting to try and help out, he's gonna take it over. It's gonna be his little fiefdom now. So we come back and find all that out, and we're like, so basically, all of us collectively turn our heads and say, really? Really? You sent a fiend to kill your great-great-great-grandson? What kind of fucking asshole are you?
The biggest.
Yes. And so, after that, I think he was with us for one more session, and then he never came back. But yeah, it was intensely awkward and annoying to have someone who just wanted to be basically he wanted to play World of Darkness where all the creatures have like big crazy abilities and the whole point of it isn't so much about the fighting, it's about the politicking. in 5e, and that was not what the rest of the group was out for. So all of his, supercharged abilities and all of his, weird, cool powers were more grating than cool. And I would not, refuse him to return. I would mandate, if I was in charge, that the only things he can use are inside an officially printed book, based on the default character process. Any printed book can do it. Nothing outside of a book.
If you really wanted to keep it simple, you could restrict it to Adventurers League's rule.
Yeah, that's true. I like to do a little bit of things on the side. Like I do, I think I've told you guys. I have people roll 8 stats, and you can choose the 6 you want. The other DM, the one who's running that campaign, he does roll 2 for each and take the best if you want, the one you want.
The method we have coined as heroic at this point. We like our combat encounters to be a little bit more on the challenging side. So stronger heroes make for more doable encounters of that variety.
Yeah.
So the way we do it is we just roll 24 dice all at once. You drop the lowest 6, and then assign dice accordingly.
Yeah, that's I think we did that for the Pathfinder.
No.
Or no?
We did not.
Definitely
No,
didn't.
okay. That was something else. We did the roll for drop the bonus.
And then there's the caveat that it depends on the DM, but if your overall stat total is below, I don't know, whatever threshold the DM is, you reroll.
Yeah.
Low
That's
rolls.
a
Didn't mean to use the
pretty good
BFG
way to do
there.
it. I am definitely not opposed to that method. It seems like a pretty good way to, give some leeway, but also make things somewhat consistent.
Yeah, the other reason why we do it too is it makes it so that your characters, as they're leveling up, instead of feeling like they have to take those ability score improvements,
I feel like you can take feats.
they get feats, which is always more exciting than a 2-point bump.
I'm sure you'll want to try out your weapon first before we leave.
I definitely agree with the sentiment of that system you guys have.
We just want people to feel cool without, shattering the balance.
Yep.
It seems like a pretty easy way to do it.
Yeah. That's actually one of the things that I have been doing recently is I've kind of told everybody in the game that I'm running that, hey, I want to be a little more lax on, by the book definitions of the rules, and in exchange, things are going to get a little rougher in terms of encounters. And basically the way I like to do it is the more work you put into your explanation of something, the less I require your dice to be the results. It still is a matter, but if you go through this elaborate scheme to hail someone and find out where they're going, and you can explain how you do all the things, then I'll make the threshold lower, or I'll maybe give them a penalty to something that they're doing, so it's easier for characters to find them or whatever.
I just feel like that's standard D&D though. Like, if your players have a pretty well-developed plan that isn't outlandish, I feel like it should increase.
Yeah, it's just that I have been in games where it's by the book only, like, especially, and it's kind of, you know, sensible to kind of do by the book when you're talking about Pathfinder, because there's a rule for everything.
I don't know about that. We've basically thrown out or half of this Pathfinder in our game.
No, it's understandable to run, like, either way is valid, but I like to do the more free form where it's like, hey, you spend like 5 minutes explaining how you're going to do it and it all makes sense. Guess what? You only got to make a 16 instead of a 20. No?
I just prefer 5e in general because it gives you a, like, robust enough framework that in those situations where you're really, like, not sure how the fuck it would work out, there's probably a rule or an explanation to, like, help you do that. But at the same time, if you're like, well, you know what? That does make a lot of fucking... It's very easy to just get that through with the rule system.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like if you're playing Pathfinder, like, as written, to do, like, cool shit like that, you basically have to, like, bust out of the straitjacket that is the rule book in order to do it.
Yeah, it's, Are you freaking kidding me? Big skeleton. Crap. Dang it. Stupid Skeletron.
Someone's playing a classic level.
No!
Urdak is the Maker's home world. It is
Who
not
told you that?
accessible to anyone.
The music.
Human or sentinel has ever
The music's
seen this
lying.
dimension. You can use the Maker's origin factory in the Hell City of Necravol to pass through the void. Once there, you will not be able to leave on your own.
Does eating
But Vega
honey
can
give
create an
me
exit portal for
a
you.
regen?
That is why you must bring Vega through
Find-
the void with you to Urdak.
Understood. I'm detaching myself from the ship's systems. Processing. Total transfer
No.
to external drive.
It just
complete.
gives me potion sickness.
Vega is no longer connected to your ship. I
Potion
will reconfigure
sickness?
the portal to Necravol.
And Terraria, you have a cooldown for when you can use healing items after
Do
you use
you
one.
require
Pretty-
anything else before
Some
we
it's certain
begin our
games
journey to
interfere.
Urdak? You will not be able to return until the mission is complete.
Nope, you can't drop the contents of a bottle of honey. You can't make the honey do the regen for you. That is totally fine. Oh, I could do this. Can you eat cooked fish while you have potion sickness? Yeah! Okay, awesome. Oh, that's good. It's 20 minutes, too. Alright. Oh, excellent. Transcript. Iron skin. Regen. Archery.
Let's go to Necravol.
And Swift.
dead.
Alright, mister. How do I make swiftness potions? Because that was my last. That's good. Swiftness is Daybloom and Cactus.
Argent energy is made from the souls of Hell's victims. This is the factory where that takes place. Necrolol, the city of the damned.
Okay then.
Oh, I'm out of it. Okay.
Oh jeez. This is cool looking. This definitely feels like hell.
Hey, you guys are breaking his drum.
I would imagine the drums were easy. It's the eighth of the game.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, there's, when the rhythm increases on the one part, it's like, you're like, da, 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 da.
Da da da.
Here.
Oh, come on back.
That's not good.
Have you tried not being on fire?
That's
We're
usually better.
currently looking into possibilities of that. We will. It will take us at least 3 to 5 weeks for testing.
Sounds rough, yo.
It's actually quite fast.
Come on, dude, I need the other thingy. Useless merchant.
Well, there's a quad damage over there. That means this is going to get intense.
Oh boy.
Should have saved that. Apparently I haven't started the... Oh, okay. Oh, I saved it, damage.
It's Sad Demon?
Well,
What is he sad?
what?
Why is he sad?
It's a cyber demon.
Said cyber, okay. Must have been a little hitch with the audio. I heard sad. Oh. That's interesting that you can tell that he's sad. There. Okay, I need
Holy fuck.
Need to get a flare, extended grip, paint sprayer, paint sprayer is what I need.
Oh, I actually thought I killed that the sneak guy.
I have the extended grip and the bricklayer and the paint sprayer. Right back, I'm gonna use it.
This level hates me. There's no ammo anywhere.
Here the humans arrive from Earth, waiting to be selected for the process.
There's definitely a secret over there. Is there a climbing wall somewhere that I'm missing? Also, I went up over there. Oh, now it's open. No, no, it's not. Hey, how do I get this open? Is there a bustable wall somewhere? That you're not allowed to stand there. What am I missing?
I'm back.
Welcome back. Trying to figure out what I'm missing to be able to get into this door.
Are there any convenient skull switches around?
Not that I've seen.
Are there any, like, demon keyholes or card key doors?
Again, not that I'm seeing. There might be a switch somewhere? Or maybe I'll be coming back through here?
It's a mystery.
maybe it's a red key card door.
Leave me alone, I'm just searching for flowers. No. Really?
The Khan Maker needs Earth and its
Game.
souls.
My head's sticking out through the top of it.
The culling allows her people to
Cage.
replenish their resources and survive. As you save your world, you put hers in peril. Up ahead is Kalanas, the sightless judge. It determines who's fit to begin the soul extraction process. The rest will be discarded to the blood swappers.
That's a big brain.
They put you in here. The shield is low.
What?
Now,
No!
it's exposed.
I didn't even see him there. I can't hear to my right because I've got an earphone off. Yeah.
Yeah, see? I have my earphone off, see? Couldn't hear him.
It sounds like a personal problem, Fotis.
It is.
Wasn't my phone, see? That's why I had to put him down. Snuck up on me.
Yeah. Auto map acquired. Oh, well, hi.
There's one.
God dang it. I don't understand how the arc vials attacks work quite as well, since I usually just focus them out pretty quickly so I don't have to deal with it. Freaking arc vial.
That'll do it.
Weird POTUS.
What?
I feel like Nightmare is how Doom is supposed to be.
I absolutely agree.
I haven't even tried one, but Nightmare just feels right.
I absolutely agree. No, no, god dang it. Such a waste. I gotta use actual weapon. Like, I need to set keys to weapons instead of just cycling through, because every once in a while I accidentally use the BFT in a very bad spot.
Okay, it's late, so I'm gonna get going.
Alright.
Talk to you guys tomorrow. Hope. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Humans must be tortured, the flesh tender. Once enough pain has been inflicted and the spirit broken, the soul is ready for the extraction process.
Okay, I didn't see the buff totem. I got too focused. So where's this buff totem?
Probably
Oh, there it is.
that's a good idea. Get this equipped.
What? Why did it just take damage there? Oh, I'm getting better at the Marauder fights.
Good.
I'm just waiting for there to be 2 Marauders in one of these fights. That'll be fun.
Why wouldn't it?
Oh, jeez. Hello, kitten. Aye. Good dog.
Inside that citadel is the soul extraction chamber. We must make our way through and to the top, where the pure Argent energy is exported directly to Erdak.
Over here, man.